So a lot of people lately have been calling and asking, where are all the neighborhoods with no HOAs and a little more space? So in this video, I want to go over some of the areas in San Diego where you can actually find that. I'm talking bigger yards, a little bit further away from your neighbor, less cookie cutter style homes. Let's find out. Welcome back, or maybe this is your first time here and you like to know every little thing there is to know about living right here in San Diego. Make sure you give that subscribe button down below a nice little tap. We really appreciate it. My name is Nick, and you guys are reaching out all the time, and we really do love helping you out. So if you're thinking about making a move in or around the San Diego area, just shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can help you save a lot of time and just help you make a smooth move somewhere to San Diego. Probably a place with no HOAs and a little more space, if I had to guess. That's probably why you're watching this video. Now, before I kind of get into that stuff, I want to mention I am very excited right now because I'm wearing a jacket. You probably don't see me wearing a jacket very often in my videos because it's usually perfect out. And even this fall that we've had, it's mid-December right now, and it's finally like mid 60s during the day, but usually it warms up to like low 70s. So right now I'm just excited. I'm wearing a jacket, but let's go ahead and talk about some of these areas that a lot of you guys are just curious about. It's hard to find an area in San Diego with no HOA, and that's not more of like a master planned development kind of feel. So that's exactly what I want to break down, because that's more of my style too. I like to be away from my neighbors. I like to have a little bit of land so I can build or make an ADU or add a whatever I want, really have a pool, not have to worry about neighbors. So that's what I want to dive into. And the first place we're going to talk about is Vista. And Vista is a pretty special place because it has this real rural kind of country style living while only being 25-30 minutes from the beach. And out of most of the places that we're talking about today, this is going to be one of those areas that's closest to the beach. So the temperatures here are just, they're perfect year round. They're just amazing. Now, there is going to be some HOA areas in Vista, but a big majority, I'd say about 85 to 90% of homes here are going to have no HOA. They're going to be on windier roads. This is exactly what I love. I love the windy roads. I love the big mature trees. I love the homes that have long driveways going to them. That's what you're going to see a ton of in Vista. Now, don't get me wrong, because there is HOA communities. You got a really, really big one in the south of Vista called Shadow Ridge. It's going to have that cookie cutter style. Beautiful place, but if you want that Vista rural feeling, you're going to be wanting to look north, kind of northwest of the Highway 78. You want to be looking in areas like Warmlands. You got Bringle Terrace, right around that Bringle Terrace Park area. It's an awesome area. You also have Buena Creek. And what's very interesting is once we have a chat with you guys, usually we get an understanding of what you guys like, and then we're like, hey, this is some areas you guys need to explore. And Vista's never on anybody's map. We send them up there and they're like, holy smokes, we did not expect this. We absolutely love this. So it's very interesting to hear that and just know that a lot of people just really don't know about it. So it's a little bit of a gem. But like I said, those are going to be some of the areas that you really want to dial into and look into if you're looking for that more ruralness, because you will find those bigger lots. You're going to find homes that have been kind of older custom homes. A lot of these homes are built in the 70s, 60s for the most part. So some have been completely renovated. It takes a little bit longer to find those turnkey homes. But if you're okay with something that needs some TLC, there's a ton of time capsules. I call them time capsules because they're homes in their all original state, and they just need somebody to come in there and do their own renovations and bring them back to life. So a ton of those options over there in Vista. I should probably mention Vista is a place that we're actually looking to get something right now because we want more space. We want to have a little bit more land. We want an older home that we can go in there and do our own renovations to. Plus, we really want to build a guest house and have an ADU. So there's a lot of pluses to not just Vista, but a lot of these other areas that we're going to talk about. And just a quick reminder, as much as we love making these videos for you guys, we love helping you with your real estate needs just a little bit more. It's literally what we're best at. So if you have any questions, we would love to be your real estate resource of choice. Next, we're going to head about 30 to 40 minutes south, and we're actually going to be a lot more centrally located here. So if you have to commute to some of these southern cities or downtown San Diego, or you have to go to the airport often, these are going to be some great locations, and it's actually 3 neighborhoods in one, and they all kind of intertwine, and they're basically the same. So it's going to be Del Cerro, San Carlos, and Allied Gardens. And this place is very unique. It's very cool. And while it doesn't have any giant lots like some of the other areas that we've spoken about, most of these properties are going to be right around a 1/4 acre, give or take. So no giant lots over here, but you have no HOA back here, and you have some really, really cool homes. I've been in some awesome homes back here, and a lot of them kind of vary with style. You got some really cool mid-century modern homes that have been completely renovated, and they kept that old aesthetic look, but they redid the whole thing. Some crazy gorgeous backyards, indoor outdoor lifestyle, and the location is great too because you're not far from, you know, some downtown San Diego amenities. The airport's really close, so you got a lot of stuff going for it over here. And it's also another area that I feel like a lot of people don't really know about, especially if you're not too familiar with San Diego. When people reach out, they describe what they like, and this usually ends up on that list of areas to go check out. And again, they drive around, they're like, hey, I could see myself living here. This is pretty cool. It's exactly what I want. Next area is Poway. Now, this one's gonna be located more on the east side of northern San Diego. And just a rule of thumb, typically the more east you head here in San Diego, the more space you're gonna get, the more square footage on the home at a more reasonable price. Now, what I will say is Poway is literally nicknamed the city in the country. So right there, that should explain its ruralness and its country vibe. And something that's pretty cool about it is you have that feeling of ruralness while only being usually like 10 minutes away from a big shopping center. So you're not way out there in the sticks and boonies. Now, when it comes to the homes, you got some gorgeous, gorgeous estate style living out here. You have some homes that have this crazy indoor outdoor living with some beautiful pools, views. You're gonna have bigger lots, of course. A lot of lots are gonna be right around an acre, maybe bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, and a ton of horse properties too. And it's pretty interesting because when you're driving and you get to some of these crosswalks, you're gonna see that there's a horse crossing sign. So don't be like shocked when you see somebody walking, or I should say somebody horseback riding through the neighborhood. It's a very, very common thing. Also, another thing I should mention, that if you're looking for a smaller home, you know, something 2,000 square feet, maybe a little smaller, maybe a tad bigger, you can find that, but a lot of these homes are big. There's like 4, 5, 6,000 square foot homes out here in Poway, so big estate living. And you know, another thing that's kind of a pro about this place and that has a lot of people going here is it has an award-winning school district. So Poway Unified School District is a top dog, big contender. If you have kids and family and you're looking for those bigger space and all that, Poway is going to be a good fit. Next, we're gonna head just north of Poway, and we're gonna actually land in a area called Escondido. Now, one thing I wanna let you know about, I guess, both Escondido and Poway is it can get pretty warm out here, especially in the summertime. If it's a hot beach day, you know, 80 degrees at the beach, you can expect it to be 85, 90, sometimes pushing a little bit above 90. Does it happen often? No, it doesn't happen too often, but it's something that I want you to know about because if you're looking for a cooler temperature, you know, these areas might not be the best fit. But I will say there is some great, lot of various neighborhoods within Escondido. They feel very spacious. There's no HOA. You got some really gorgeous custom homes out there. And it's kind of hit or miss depending on where you're looking because there is some HOA communities that are kind of like in little pockets and things, but a couple areas that I would recommend to look into if you want that more space is going to be in the south of Escondido. So right around Lake Hodges is going to be a great area. You're going to have East Canyon, Kit Carson, Felicita. So those are all on the southern side, but that's where you're going to find kind of those windy roads, mature trees, older custom feeling homes, a lot of that stuff happening. Now, as you get towards the middle of Escondido, you're gonna see some of those HOA communities and things like that. But to the north, to the far, far north of Escondido, you got some cool areas up there. You have a place called Hidden Meadows. This place is really, really phenomenal. I don't even know how to really explain it because a lot of these homes here were actually built around rocks that are like incorporated sometimes into the house, they like into the architecture, into the lot. They did a really good job up here and they just left that natural beauty. So this is a really cool zone. Not to mention you have Jesmond Dean just to the south. So horse properties, a lot of that happening over in Escondido. So those are some areas I would recommend looking into. The next place that I absolutely couldn't leave off this list, and if I had to rank these from 1 to 5, this would come in easily at number 1, and this is gonna be Fallbrook. Now, Fallbrook's gonna be located in the way north of San Diego. It's actually one of the last cities in San Diego before you head into Riverside County. Now, this has got a pretty rural feeling out here, and you know, depending on where you choose to live in Fallbrook, you could be 15, 20, 25 minutes away from a shopping center. So sometimes this deters people, but from what I found, I've helped a ton of people actually move into Fallbrook because that's exactly what they wanted. They like to have a lot more space. They want to have a bigger home. They want to have a bigger lot for whatever they want. And you know, that's what Fallbrook is literally all about. Now, all the shopping is literally right in the center of Fallbrook, and you have a really historic downtown area. You got some grocery stores and things like that, but that's it. It's a very blue collar town in my opinion, and if you are looking to meet your neighbors and things like that, you're gonna probably need a megaphone to talk to them, because that's how big some of these lots are. Some of them are well over an acre, 2-3 acres, not to mention a ton of avocado farms out here. So I want to say about, what is it? I'll have to plug it in right here, but I think 25 to 30% of California's avocados are actually grown right here in Fallbrook. So if you love avocados, this is probably another reason to move here, but definitely I'd recommend looking into Fallbrook if you want to have that more spacious lifestyle, bigger lots. A lot of older homes out here, and one thing you should probably know is a lot of these homes are on septic out here. So if you're not too familiar with septic, don't be scared of it. It's really not that big of a deal. People have been living on this for years. Just make sure you get it certified when you're buying this house and make sure it's in good shape. Other than that, you're not really gonna see many wells out here anymore. It's usually city water, but besides that, Fallbrook could be a good spot for you. All right, so those were literally the best areas in all of San Diego County where you can find more space, no HOAs, less cookie cutter style homes, you know, further away from your neighbors. Those are going to be literally some of the best areas that I would recommend looking in. But obviously everything's going to be different for everybody depending on what your commute looks like, what does your budget look like, what do you like, what do you don't like. All that stuff is very important, and usually when we have just one conversation with you guys, we learn so much about you and we can help figure out which area is going to be best for you and just help you make that smooth move here. So make sure you guys are reaching out. All of our information is down below. We can't wait to talk, and I got a few videos right here that will probably be pretty helpful too, so make sure you look at those, and I'll see you there.